Okay, I promise this is the last time I'm gonna talk about my game, Not a Virus. So if you didn't know, last year I made a video called I Made a Game with a Virus, where I created this fun little game set inside of a Windows computer. The player would get hacked and have to eliminate the viruses by highlighting them on their desktop. Well, the YouTube algorithm seemed to really like that video. Oh yeah, and about a month ago, I did an interview in Brazil of all places with a famous influencer. We've had a ton of new Brazilian viewers, and since then, my channel has been popping off. We actually just hit 15,000 subscribers, which is insane, so thank you guys so much. Ever since I was a kid, I dreamed of being a YouTuber, and seeing my channel grow means the world to me. So to thank you guys, I'll also be making a Portuguese version of this video. So without further ado, let's start the video. So in that video, you guys left a ton of comments with ideas for updates, things like new virus types, an antivirus to help defend your computer, a ransomware boss, and more. So I figured now would be the perfect time to add all those features and take the game even further, because I know you guys really liked it. To start, I wrote down all the ideas I wanted to implement, and then I opened the project for the first time in 6 months and got to work. Now right off the bat, the first thing I did was fix a weird little bug with the mouse by swapping it out for a new sprite. Then I adjusted the size of the selection box to be smaller because sometimes it wouldn't scale properly, which would make it look weird. Next, I had to actually be creative and design 2 new virus types. I wanted to keep the original virus as the normal or medium virus, but I also added a small virus and a big virus. Of course, this meant I had to introduce a health system for the viruses. The small virus would have 1 HP, the medium virus would have 2 HP, and the big viruses would have 3 HP. Every time you highlight a virus, it loses 1 HP until it's eliminated. After finishing up the new virus sprites and animations, I started implementing them into the game, and after some testing, everything was looking pretty good. I had both viruses, big and small, added to the game. I also made sure the viruses spawned alongside the original ones, obviously, and now at the start of the game you'll see mostly small viruses, then medium ones will start appearing, and eventually the big ones will show up more and more frequently. This creates a nice progression in difficulty and adds a good variety to the enemies, which I think is pretty cool. I also added a bunch of cool little details, one of my favorites being the timer at the bottom of the screen, right where the real life time would normally be on your desktop. This way you can challenge your friends to see who can survive the longest, and if you want to show off your record to me and my community, you should definitely join the Piggle Studios Discord. Yes, my official game studio has an official Discord server. Right now we've got around 60 members, but with 15,000 subscribers, I know we can do better than that. So what are you waiting for? Join the server with the link in the description and let's get it to 500 members. I'll be waiting. With that done, I checked off more virus types from the list and moved on to the next big addition, the antivirus. I wanted the operating system Windows to have a built-in defense system that would kick in later in the game, acting as a last line of defense for the player. But before anything, I needed to come up with a solid design. For the color, I went with green since it gives off that classic security feel, and as for the antivirus itself, I decided on a floating green eye that would hunt down and eliminate viruses. But I didn't want them to just randomly spawn in. I wanted something more unique, and that's when I came up with the idea of an antivirus pod. Instead of instantly appearing, a pod would drop in, and once the player clicked on it, the antivirus would activate. So I finished designing both the antivirus and the pod, and I even added a cool little animation for when the pod spawns, making it look like it materialized from pure energy or something. I don't know, but it looks awesome. Now originally my plan was for the antivirus to shoot lasers at the viruses, but for now they simply deal damage on contact, and after a lot of trial and error, I finally got them working the way I wanted. And with most, if not all, bugs fixed, new virus types added, and an antivirus to help the player, there was only one thing left. Now for the sprite of the boss, I took some inspiration from the amazing world of Gumball, specifically the character Ocho's mom, who is basically a mothership. And after a while, I finished up the design and it looked pretty cool. I even added a little animation. Then I dragged the sprite into Unity, created an empty object, and made a script called Virus Boss. After a few hours of testing and debugging, I had a finished product that fit well with the game and was super fun to fight. Basically, the boss spawns later in the game and moves left and right while spawning different types of viruses. The player has to keep highlighting the boss until it's defeated. And that's about it. Oh wait, I almost forgot. I also added and changed some of the sounds of the game, so now it sounds way better as well. And with that, we've completed everything on the list, and it only took what, 3 days? Yeah, good thing I didn't have that 24-hour challenge like in the first video. Speaking of which, you should go check that out. Also, if you want to download the game, there will be a link in the description. You can either download it or play it right in your browser for free. Now, there's one more thing I want to mention before the video ends. Basically, at the end of every video, I'm gonna have a list of all my channel members, but guess how many we have right now? 1. So if you can just click that join button, I made it as cheap as possible for you guys. It would mean a ton. And if you don't have any money, just subscribing and liking the video just helps a ton genuinely. Anyway, that's about it for today. I'll see you guys next time.